was always the Jags.
Always the Jags. Always the Jags.
Always the Jags.
Welcome into Always the Jags. It's your host, King Whale. This is your number one podcast for everything Jacksonville, everything Jaguars, everything Duval. Because the 49ers are perennially banged up. It looks like we kind of end up and we caught a huge break. And I think week 2 was a lot of figuring out who we are. And I think in week 3, I think we started to figure out who we are. And I think it just goes back to we run the ball super well. We're a defense that likes to make the quarterback uncomfortable and force takeaways. Give the ball back to our offense, get some extra possessions. And then our offense likes to do a balanced attack, ground and pound. And Trevor doesn't have to make the big hero plays, but he has the talent and the talent on the team to do so. And our offense, again, if receivers caught the ball, I like that our offense isn't just a ground and pound offense, because the Texans started stacking the box and they were pretty good at limiting the run. But based upon the way Liam Cohen's offense runs and the weapons that we have and the fact that we have solid players at almost every position on offense, if they just allowed the ball to stay in their hands, we can attack any defense any way we want to. Tampa is known for its run defense, but its secondary isn't very good. So we can change our script to pick apart the secondary, because our offensive line is great at pass blocking and run blocking, right? We'll still use the run to keep them honest, but now we can hit their secondary. We can hit your weakness. Same thing with the Rams coming up. Great defensive line, not so good secondary. We can pick them apart, hit them over in the middle of the field, but guys got to catch the ball in order for that to happen. So when it comes to San Francisco, they've got their run defense isn't as good as their secondary, I would say. So I think we need to lean on the run game for sure against San Francisco if we want our offense to have any kind of success. And we caught a huge break because Nick Bosa is out for the season. Jaguars historically haven't done well in California. But again, we went in 2022, we went to the Chargers and dropped 38 on them under Doug Peterson, our second game of the season. So there's no reason for us to feel like we don't need to go over there we never win in California. We need to go over there and be we're healthy, they're not, we're a better team. Don't let their backups beat you. That's what I would be telling the team. If I was Liam Cohen, I would go there and I would be they're hurt, right? Do you want to lose to a backup like we did in week 2? Do you want to lose to a backup? Because I don't. Don't let their backups beat you. You're a starter. They're a backup. You beat him. That's how that works. So, like I said, the run game will definitely need to lean on. The 49ers secondary, it seems like it hasn't really missed a beat, even though it lost Hufanga and the other guy, not Chidobe Awuzie. I think he's with the Colts now. But he was a good cornerback, and he used to be with the Chiefs. Seems like their secondary still is pretty hard-hitting and pretty good in coverage. So some zone concepts will need to exploit that. But I think if we lean on the run game, again, and keep blowing open those holes and giving Trevor enough time, we have a chance to put some points up on him. Because the 49ers defense is very good, but losing Nick Bosa changes your entire complexion. Because now we don't have to force coverage over to Nick Bosa. We don't have to chip him. We don't have to put 2 guys on him, right? Whoever they have replacing him might be able to be handled one-on-one. And if we do chip somebody, if Brenton Strange does chip somebody going out, he might completely knock them out of blocking because they're not Nick Bosa. So I think we have a very good chance to come away with the win. I don't know if I'm ready to officially pick it. Just because I did find out Brock Purdy looks like he will be playing. Mac Jones probably won't be playing because it looks like Brock Purdy is healthy again. If Mac Jones was playing, I would say this is a win, even with whether or not Nick Bosa was in or not. I don't know if I'd rather have Nick Bosa in and have Mac Jones play. I don't know if you'd rather face Brock Purdy or Nick Bosa, right? Because we know that Mac Jones is not that good of a quarterback. The drop-off from Mac Jones to Brock Purdy is probably pretty large. But Mac Jones has been playing well, and he won his last 2 games. But we know that if you rattle him and make him uncomfortable, get pressure on him, he's going to mess up. And the 49ers are missing their starting guard. And again, the Texans' offensive line is horrifying. So we're not going to be able to harass the 49ers line the way we harass the Texans. Trent Williams is still an all-pro. But I think we can use some blitzes and things to get some guys. And again, they don't have George Kittle, right? So that's the guy that you don't have to double team. We'll have to double team Ricky Pearsall because he's making his appearance. But Juwaun Jennings and Brandon Ayuk are both out. So if we're able to limit their offense by, like doubling Pearsall and using man-on-man coverage against their tight end and whoever their second receiver is, like if Travis Hunter can lock up one of the guys, Tyson Campbell, and a safety on Ricky Pearsall, and then let one of our linebackers, Devin Lloyd, handle their tight end or fullback in coverage, now we can bring Foye on a blitz. We can bring Eric Murray on a blitz. We can bring Jordan Lewis on a blitz. We can keep blitzing because our guys can hold up in one-on-one coverage because they don't have the game breakers who need to be double covered because their guys are hurt. So I think that's the key to beating their defense. Like, bring the blitz and throw Brock Purdy or Mac Jones off their mark. And switch it up. Bring it from linebackers, bring it from the safety, bring it from the nickel. Switch up who's blitzing and keep doing that to keep throwing them off their mark. And I think if we do that, and I think, again, as long as if we feel confident that our guys can hold up in one-on-one coverage, which I think Travis Hunter is ready for it on the second receiver, and double their first receiver with Tyson Campbell and give him some help with Murray or Wingard. So I think we can at least limit them. And then obviously Christian McCaffrey, right? Someone's going to have to keep an eye on him and be able to make that tackle. And Christian McCaffrey has looked good. I got him in my fantasy league. He's getting me some points this year. So great win for the Jaguars. I did go, I went 0-6 because I'm in 6 fantasy leagues. Did go 0-6 this year. So I was undefeated in 1 league and I was winless in 2. So I'm still winless in those 2 and still looking for a win in those 2 leagues, and other ones I'm like 1-2 and 2-1 now. So not the greatest fantasy season for me, but it's okay. I will throw it all away for the Jaguars to do well this year. So let me know what you think. If the Jaguars have a chance of beating the 49ers, what do you think about the Jaguars win over the Texans and everything going forward? And never forget, it was always the Jags.